Welcome to the deep dive. Today we are really getting into the mind of Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher king, specifically his ultimate tool for mental resilience, the inner citadel.
Yeah, and it's so important to grasp why he developed this. I mean, think about his world. He wasn't just sitting contemplating things. He was the last of the so-called five good emperors, writing meditations literally in military tents.
Right, during constant war and that absolutely devastating Antonine Plague.
Exactly. So this isn't abstract philosophy. Meditations was his private journal, like a series of self-talk, self-corrections, forged in the middle of, well, utter crisis.
And the core of that personal survival strategy seems to be this concept of the hegemonikon, the ruling part of the mind.
That's it, the hegemonikon,
Yeah.
his term for your mind's command center. And he calls this the inner citadel. He saw it as this basically invincible fortress inside you.
Invincible, that sounds like a pretty bold claim, given everything he was facing.
Well, invincible in a specific way. He argues that nothing external, no war, no plague, not even, difficult people can truly breach this citadel unless you allow it.
Unless you grant permission, essentially.
Precisely. It's that ruling part, the hegemonikon, that a good person, he says, must keep inviolate and intact. It's your responsibility.
Okay, so if this citadel is constantly under siege from the outside world, what's the primary defense mechanism? Our sources keep pointing back to the dichotomy of control.
Absolutely, that's fundamental. It's really about managing your energy, your focus. True happiness, Marcus believed, comes from concentrating only on what is genuinely up to us.
Which is what, exactly, our thoughts, our choices.
Our judgments, our intentions, how we choose to respond, that's the stuff you can control. And the flip side is truly accepting everything else. Your reputation, your health, sometimes wealth, what other people do or say.
Okay, but accepting external chaos, like the outcome of a battle or a plague spreading, that feels incredibly difficult. Are you just supposed to mentally switch off from it?
It's not switching off. It's redirecting. You have to tell yourself that these external things are, in a way, indifferent to your core self, your purpose. Why pour your mental energy, your ruling faculty's strength, into trying to control something that fundamentally doesn't respond to your will?
So recognizing that limitation actually frees up energy to focus inward on the citadel itself.
Exactly. It shifts your resources back to where they can actually make a difference. And that brings us to the main defensive weapon inside the citadel walls, mastering your perception.
The idea that we aren't disturbed by events, but by our judgments about them.
That's the entire battlefield right there.
Yeah.
The critical technique is learning to question and, if necessary, suppress that immediate negative judgment. Marcus puts it so starkly. Suppress the thought and the cry, "I am hurt," is gone.
So the event happens, maybe someone insults you, but the hurt only lands if you judge that insult as something genuinely damaging.
Precisely. The external event is just data. The pain comes from your internal assessment, your judgment that says, this is bad or this diminishes me. If you withhold that judgment, the injury doesn't take root.
That feels almost clinical, though. If something genuinely painful happens, how do you just suppress the thought in that moment? It sounds easier said than done.
Oh, it absolutely takes practice. It's not a switch you just flip. One key technique he advocates is what you might call the practice of objectivity, or stripping phenomena bare.
Stripping them bare, what does that mean?
It means seeing things for what they objectively are, without the layers of emotional judgment or societal value we tend to wrap around them. He gives this great example: a fancy royal purple robe.
Okay.
Don't see it as majestic or luxurious. See it for what it is. Sheep's wool dyed with the blood of a shellfish. You strip away the added meaning, the value judgment, and see the raw components.
That's actually quite powerful. So if you apply that today, maybe a really stressful work email isn't a disaster threatening my job. It's electrons arranged on a screen conveying information.
Exactly. You reduce it to its objective reality. Doing that consistently loosens the emotional grip it has on you. It stops the external thing from dictating your internal state.
And the result of mastering this perception, this objectivity.
The result, the goal, is what he describes as an unbreakable mind, a mind that's collected within itself like a strong fortress, totally secure. He even uses the image of a sphere, complete and perfect within itself. Your thoughts and actions then flow from this secure, rational center.
So bringing this forward, what's the core message for us living thousands of years after Marcus?
I think it's the enduring power he identified in retreating inward. He literally says, nowhere can a man find any retreat more quiet and more full of leisure than in his own soul. That space is always available to you,
That inner citadel.
that inner citadel. And maybe the final thought for you to really mull over is this. The stuff Marcus was wrestling with difficult people, anxiety, political turmoil, facing mortality, it's the same stuff we wrestle with. It's universal.
So Meditations isn't just some historical text.
Not at all. It's a practical cognitive toolkit for resilience. It kind of proves that the only kingdom you can ever truly lastingly rule, and maybe the only one ultimately worth the effort of mastering, is the one inside your own head.